they need to be prepared on what are the consequences. And what I shared with the Shopo rep, don't make a decision yet after one meeting. Just ask more questions and keep that dialogue open, keep that line of communication open, because that is what we need. So it's no different than we're at school, in college, teaching students this information. We need to teach them not necessarily what to think, but what's very important is you need to teach them how to think, yeah? How to ask questions, how to frame your research. That's the key. So the information that is already being taught at the university is now spreading. Now, what's also important here to note is it's not just in Hawaii. The United Nations is now watching. Okay? For people to think the United Nations, they're not involved, I wouldn't say that. They are involved.
Now, you know, we've been talking about the courts and so forth. And I know I briefly brought up the legislature and so forth, but, you know, just within the last few months, we had the Public Land Development Corporation that has been a really big issue, you know, with people here in Hawaii, and also the big issue of, you know, the military buildup and the redeployment of the Marines and up at Puakula here and so forth. How does all of this play into the war crimes that we talked about with PLDC, the laws that are being passed by the legislature, the military buildup, or because just the other day, you know, I was driving over to Kona, and on my way over there, driving over Saddle Road, I mean, the howitzers were just blasting up at Puakula. I mean, it was sad. I mean, I was really angry watching them blow up that mountain, and you know, it was almost to the point where I just wanted to cry. So I just wanted to go over there and yell at the guys in the military, you guys are committing war crimes, blah, blah, blah. How does that apply? Or does it?
Well, we got to be careful about that. I mean,
Right.
I used to be in the field artillery,
Right.
so I used to fire howitzers.
No, I know. That's
That's
why.
walkable.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
The U.S. military is not the evil people, okay? And they need to prepare for war because they're being deployed. The problem we got is Hawaii's occupied. They're not supposed to be doing it here.
Right.
So they don't know.
How do we stop them?
Yeah, well, again, it's information and education, but also accountability. So the Pacific Commander is ultimately responsible for all military people in Hawaii. And basically, military installations within Hawaii is a direct violation of the Neutrality Convention, the Hague Convention on Neutrality. The territory is inviolable. You're not supposed to have military installations in Hawaii because you bring Hawaii into harm's way. So definitely the U.S. military, well, they got to get out because they should have never been here to begin with. What they're supposed to do is establish a military government, which is just the head, not the entire military, but just the head, the military governor, to ensure that these executive agreements and treaties are complied with. What we are experiencing is the effect of non-compliance to the law. But we have to be careful. How do we get people out of the situation without committing a war crime? That's the trick. But war crimes can be committed individually. But war crimes have been committed as a state called the United States by imposing the state of Hawaii here in these islands. For having the U.S. military in these islands, that's the war crime on the United States. The question is, how does that apply to individuals for war crimes?
I was just going to ask
the
that.
prosecution.
Who are the individuals that we can target to go after and charge war crimes?
Well, the one thing, I don't want to do that because we all live here. So I don't want to start charging and say people committing war crimes. I want people to realize what is a war crime, say they don't commit a war crime. That's what I'm trying to do. Because otherwise you're going to call upon your uncle, your auntie, your friends. See, we don't have Nazis here that we can say, he's a criminal. What we got is, well, that's my cousin, he's a cop. Well, that's my auntie who's a judge. See, that's the difference. So I'm not here to push war crimes. I'm here to apprise people of war crimes and be careful. Don't commit the war crime, but if you do, well, you did. I tried to say don't.
I guess the frustration is, you know, as you drive by going over Saddle Road and you see the destruction of Laulima, and I'm going, okay, do we wait? Because they're destroying the land, they're destroying the ocean and so forth, and at what point in time?
Well, I completely agree with you.
At what point in time are we saying enough already?
I know, but it's been going on for years and years, and it's going to stop, and it has to stop. But people got to think before they move on this, because we're getting into where the rubber hits the road. And I'm not one to start launching at people and saying, you did this, you did that. But it's got to be evidence-based, it's got to be apprised of the situation, but people will be accountable. They have to be. That's the bottom line. They actually will be accountable. It's just education first, knowledge, and then you make the decision, hey, okay, now you're held accountable. At least you can't say, well, at least you can say, you cannot say, I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had a really good discussion again, and this is going to continue on because more and more issues will surface, and I'm sure there's going to be more commissions of war crimes are going to be committed, and we'll probably get emails and people post things on both websites. HawaiianKingdom.org, Dr. Keanu's site's
Can
website.
visit War Crime Reports. There's a link there.
Yeah, and Dr. Sai posted on his website war crimes reports.
Yeah.
And we also put a link on our website, laulimatitle.com, and you can go there. Mahalo for joining us. I really appreciate it. Junior, Nancy, you guys are awesome. Aloha.